And in this video, we're going to answer the question, is x equal to a root to this polynomial equation right here? So we have x cubed plus x squared minus 4x minus 4 is equal to 0. And again, we're trying to determine whether in fact x is equal to 2 is in fact a root to this equation. Now, what does it mean for a number to be a root? Well, there's some other words that are synonymous with this, but I'm not going to tell you that just right now because I want to give you a full opportunity to answer this question. Okay, so clearly the answer is either going to be yes, it is, or no, it isn't. But go ahead and put your answer into the comment section if you know how to answer this, but just put your justification, right? So if you're going to say yes, it is, explain, how you determine that, right? And if you're saying no, it's not, obviously explain or justify your conclusions. Now, the big picture topic here is polynomial equations, and we're talking about a third degree polynomial equation, which is something beyond, let's just say, a quadratic equation, something like this, right? If we just had x squared minus 4x minus 4, this is stuff that you will learn like in first year algebra, algebra 1. But when you get beyond second degree polynomial equations, something like this, well, this is a little bit more advanced. This is stuff that you will learn like in algebra 2, college algebra, certainly pre-calculus. So if you're taking a math course at that level, okay, this is an absolute topic that you must fully understand. Also, if you need math help with the course you're taking, test prep or homeschooling, make sure to check out my math help program at tcmathacademy.com. You can find a link to that in the description below. And if this video helps you out, don't forget to like and subscribe, as that definitely helps me out. So let's go ahead and first talk about how to check roots. Okay. Now you might be saying, well, I don't even know what a root is there, Mr. Math Man. What is a root? Well, a root is a solution, okay, or what we call a zero. So anytime you think of roots or solutions or zeros, okay, now zeros are kind of x-intercepts, but basically here we have a polynomial equation, right? It's set equal to 0, and we're trying to solve this polynomial equation right here, okay? So we're looking for the solutions, we're looking for the zeros, we're looking for the roots, and kind of a couple big picture concepts here is that this is a third degree polynomial equation. So the first thing you want to be thinking about is that we have this thing called the fundamental theorem of algebra, which basically says, hey, look, you got a polynomial equation here. It's a third degree, so there will be 3 solutions. Now, what type of solutions? Well, you can have real number solutions, or you can have complex or some sort of combination between the two. Complex or imaginary numbers, right? Now, we're kind of talking about, a lot of different subtopics when we are discussing solving polynomial equations, but these are just some things that should come to mind for all of you out there. Like, okay, I got a polynomial equation, third degree. I know I have 3 solutions. So oftentimes, you might be facing a test question that might say, hey, find the roots or find the solutions, find all the zeros, etc., etc. Okay. Now, in this particular case, we're going to just use the word roots because that's a pretty common description. And there could be some technical differences to these words, but basically, effectively, when you hear or see the word roots, we're talking about solutions. Okay, so how can we check if we have a particular number, right? In this case, we have x equal to 2, and we're just kind of asking ourselves, well, hey, is this a root to this polynomial equation? Now, this question isn't this way. Let me kind of erase all this here. I'm not saying solve, okay? Well, I guess one way I didn't put this in my little kind of setup here, but one way you could check the roots is to solve this equation, right? Solve it and then see, hey, did you get x equal 2 as one of the answers, right? So that is one technique, but there's some other techniques that are easier and more direct to check whether in fact a number is a root in a polynomial equation. So the first way you could do that is to evaluate that particular root, okay? So in other words, you could just plug this in, this number 2, and for these x's right here, and then kind of clean up this side and see if it's equal to 0. Okay, in this particular case. So just like when you check a solution in any equation, if you plug it in and the left equals the right in terms of its value, well then in fact you got a valid solution. So that you could do that. Another thing you could do is you could actually look at the graph, and this is, if you had a graphing calculator, you could graph this polynomial. Now, I don't know the actual graph of this, but we said x equals 2 is in fact a solution, right, or 0. So you would see that the polynomial, the graph of the polynomial would intersect at 2, right? So you kind of hover your little cursor there on a graphing calculator, or if you did this by hand, it would be very difficult. You would in fact have to solve this to know x equal 2 is an x-intercept, a 0 right here. But anyways, that's one kind of approach you could do. But if you had a graphing calculator, you could just quickly graph it and then hover your mouse over where the graph crosses the x-axis, and if it crosses at 2, that's another kind of way you can kind of verify that this polynomial, that this number is in fact a solution. But these other methods, okay, kind of pale in comparison to this method here, and that is synthetic division. Now, evaluating polynomials is pretty easy. Now, if you had a graphing calculator, graphing a polynomial, equation, and then looking to where it crosses the x-intercepts, now that would just give you any real number solutions. But really, the main idea of this video is to get you to remember using synthetic division, because that's how you quickly check roots, check to see if a number is a root in a polynomial equation, right? We want to use synthetic division. It's an awesome little shortcut here, but let's go ahead and see how this works. Okay, so how do you use synthetic division? Well, the first thing we need to do is make sure that our polynomial equation is in standard form. In other words, it's written to highest to lowest power, so we have 3, 2, here's x to the first, and then we have number here. Now, if anything was missing, let's say there was no x squared here, and let's say this is what I had right here, we would have to substitute a 0, okay, 0 for x squared, but in fact we do have an x squared, okay, so we just happen to have all the terms here, but if there wasn't, you would have to put in a placeholder 0 for that missing term, right? We're going to have all the powers in decreasing order represented. Now what we want to do is look at the coefficients of each of these respective terms. So here we have x cubed, we have 1x cubed, so we're going to just put the coefficient down right here. So this is 1, this is a 1x squared, so that's 1. This is -4, so we'll have -4, and then here we have -4, so we'll put a -4 right there. So you want to just kind of list out the coefficients of your polynomial written in standard form. Okay, now you're not just going to write it like this. In fact, you're going to write it like so. Okay. Here is the coefficients. We have 1, 1, -4, -4, and then you're going to draw yourself a nice little L type of figure just like this. Okay, so be nice and neat about it, and make sure you leave enough space right here that you can put numbers in. Okay, so stylistically, you don't want to be, like, okay, I'll do it like this. That's not good enough, because we're going to have to put some numbers right underneath here. Okay, so, neatness counts in mathematics. So nice and neat, give yourself a good amount of room right here. Don't make it too much room, but basically the same kind of font size, if you will. That spacing right here, just like that. Okay, so now we're going to check x is equal to 2 into our synthetic division setup. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this right now, and this is awesome. Okay, all right, so this is just a quick kind of crash course on synthetic division. If you need additional help with any of this, I'm going to leave the direct links to my courses in the description of this video. You want to check out Algebra 2 or Pre-Calculus to get like full instruction on all this. Okay, so what we're going to do is, once we have this thing all set up, you're going to take the first number, which of course is 1. You're going to drop it down right here. Okay, that's 1. And now you're going to follow this little procedure. Okay, so here's how this is. Of course, it starts with taking this number, writing it down like this. And now you're going to take this number 2. We're checking for x is equal to 2. We're going to synthetically divide 2 into this polynomial. Okay, so now all tell you when we get done with this procedure how you can determine whether in fact 2 is a root or not. Okay, so we're going to do the division right now. So we're dropping the 1 down like so, and you're going to go 2 times 1 is what? Well, 2 times 1 is 2. All right, and you're going to put your answer to this first step right here. Okay, now the next thing you do, you're going to add down. So 1 plus 2 is what? That's 3. Okay, and now what do you think we're going to do? Well, we're going to do the same thing. Okay, but now we're just going to go, instead of 2 times 1, we're going to go 2 times 3 is what? That's 6. We're going to put the answer right here. Just kind of scooting over just like this, and you're going to repeat the steps. So now you're going to add down like so, and we're going to have -4 plus 6, which is what? +2. All right, so what do you think we're going to do? Well, we're going to repeat the procedure. Okay, so now we're going to go 2 times that 2, which is what? Well, that is 4, so we're going to put the answer right there. And then, of course, we're going to add down. Now, our last column right here that we're adding, okay, this right here, this is what we call the remainder. All right, so -4 plus 4 is 0. Okay, so if you get a 0, all right, well, let's just kind of do it this way, regular 0, there's no confusion. If you get a 0, that means that this number is a solution to that polynomial, okay, is a root, okay, if you get a 0. Now, why? Well, there's other theorems. You got to know about the remainder theorem, the factor theorem, etc., but just basically, you need to understand, oh, you got a 0 there, therefore this number is, in fact, a root to that polynomial. Now, another way you could do this is to evaluate, right? So if we're checking for x equals 2 is a solution, well, here's our polynomial. We can simply plug in 2 where all the x is at and just kind of do the math, right? So 2 cubed is 8, 2 squared is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, and then we have our 4. And you can see everything will cross cancel. 8 and -8 is 0, +4, -4 is 0, so 0 is equal to 0. So when we plugged in 2 here, it worked out. Now you might be saying, well, this is pretty easy too. Why go through all the business of synthetic division? Well, this is an easy example, okay? In more complicated polynomials or numbers, we were using a nice little number here like 2, it can get much more exciting, or a lot more work to evaluate and plug things, especially if we don't have a calculator. But with synthetic division, I mean, this is an awesome little tool, and that's why you learn it. Okay, this is why it's taught, and synthetic division is actually a subset of something called polynomial long division. Now, if you are kind of thinking to yourself, man, Mr. YouTube Math Man, you just gave me a lot of information. Maybe you have some smoke coming outside your head like that. Listen, it's a lot of information if you're trying to just learn all this at once. You're like, well, you just gave me a bunch of stuff to learn. That's a lot of stuff. How do I actually learn this? Well, you're going to have to learn it one step at a time. You're going to have to put some effort into it, right? So the first thing is you need to get, good instruction, good detailed instruction. That's what I like to do on YouTube, but my best, more kind of formal, complete, comprehensive instruction is going to be in my math programs. So that's the first thing you need to do. The second thing is you need to have notes and have all this stuff written down, see how multiple different examples are done, different example types. And then the third thing you need to do is practice. You have to do the homework problems or practice problems, basic problems, medium level problems, and more difficult problems. This is what you need to do in order to change this into a nice, lovely, happy face, right? Wow, okay, I get it. And imagine, right, once you learn this stuff, you can charge your friends maybe like $5 for every 15 minutes to help them out with their homework. Okay, so with that being said, I definitely wish you all the best in your mathematics adventures. Thank you for your time, and have a great day.